Hey, it's Jeremy from Lat SEO. In this video, I'm walking through an SEO audit of Baker Industries to look at the site in more detail, see what should be done from an SEO perspective to help rank keywords better, optimize content better, and generate value from high dollar keywords. The first thing I want to do is look at their site in a little bit more detail and see what's going on and get an idea about structure, content, things like that. So first, I do see a lot of information here about industries they offer or work in, which is awesome. I've recommended this multiple times as a solid strategy for generating high quality content about what you serve and who you serve. And oftentimes this helps you rank better and generate specific and targeted leads, especially that with the markets you're looking to serve. And if we look down here in the footer section here, it looks like all of these are linking to Lincoln Electric. And I see they have copyright here as well for the Lincoln Electric company. So this is, and it does show actually at the top here, a Lincoln Electric company. So something to think about there from an SEO perspective is how all of this content is set up and structured and why it's done that way. But in general, I'm curious about why they have all of these links are going to lincolnelectric.com instead of these ones here going to Baker Industries. But again, something to look at, probably I realize it's a subsidiary or potentially recent acquisition. So just from an SEO perspective, that could have implications linking to another website. The next thing to look at then would be keyword data. So if we go to Ahrefs here, first I want to just look at general site health and optimization. You can see here, it looks like a slight downtrend in keyword data, which by itself, the percentage decrease here is not crazy. Could be a number of different things going on, but it looks like DR28, again, DR is domain rating. It's a 0 to 100 scale metric, and essentially it looks at how strong or how authoritative a website is. And then we have referring domains, which are unique links to the website, and then search data here, organic keywords and organic traffic, both declining slightly here over the last month. So the one thing I want to do is look at keywords here. And what I've done is filtered this to look at keywords that are in the US and sorted this by search volume per month. And what we can see here then are a number of keyword opportunities they were ranking for and have since lost. And one I want to look at is CNC machining services. And the reason why I want to look at this one is because they do have a page on their site optimized for CNC machining services. And they have information here. So what I want to look at is what could be done from a content perspective, specifically with this page, to see how this can be better optimized. So what I actually have done already is set up Neuron Writer here. And this tool I've mentioned multiple times. This is an awesome tool for content optimization. So what you do is you would put a keyword or phrase in here, and then this tool looks at the top ranking websites in Google for this key phrase. And you can select as many as you want. If one of these is not relevant or you don't care to optimize like their site, then you can uncheck it. But otherwise, in general, I usually leave the top 10 selected. So then you click next, and this loads up the content editor here. And what I want to do here quickly is look at this content, and we'll do a page source, and I will take the title because I want to look at the before information here and see if there's any better way to optimize this content. So we take the title here, and this code here is the ampersand. And then let's look at the description, which should be right here. And they do have keywords in the title and description, which is good. And save and close this. And then over here on the right side, you see a content score, and you can see the highest of all selected competitors. So of the top 10 websites, the highest content score is 82. The top ranking site is 79. So again, this tool, just like any of these tools, is not a guarantee that if you have the best content score, you're going to rank the best. There are other factors at play here, but in general, as you have better optimized content, it makes it easier for you to rank. The other thing you can see here is the keyword length. So you can see, or the word length. The recommended content length is 2,000 the median is 2,068 words. So if we go back here to the page here and copy all of the content, and we'll include all of the information here, the CNC machining equipment. And I realize some of these are tables, so it's not going to grab all of the content exactly, like some of these drop downs here, CNC machining gallery. And I won't include this call to action. Let's use this just gallery. Yeah. All right, but we'll grab that keyword there and I'll paste this in here. And you'll have to disregard the style. It doesn't look that great, but the biggest things that we're looking at are the optimization factors, how this is set up on the right side here with all of the keywords, extended or additional keywords here. And then if we look at headings, it shows H1s, H2s, H3s, things like that. So there are a number of different ways to work to optimize this better. One is to just use this tool, put your content in here and look to see where you could better optimize. So in this case, H1s, I don't necessarily think we need to change that around. In general, you would have one H1 per page. H1 is going to be, as you can see here, the primary keyword or phrase and usually the title of the page. And then H2s and H3s is where we have a lot of room to improve here. So what you could do if you're doing this yourself is work through here and see where you're missing. So we have CNC machining materials. So you could add potentially another section about CNC machining materials we use or our machines work with or something like that. So that would be a process here. The other process would be going into something like ChatGPT and either doing this one of two ways. First would be to build an outline of this content. And I will show you that way first. So if we go to, it's CNC machining services. So build me a content outline for an article about CNC machining services. I'm going to give you relevant H2, H3 headings. You build me the outline. I'm going to include relevant keywords, phrases. You include an overview of where that content should be used. So then you'd go back to Neuron Writer here, and I'll just copy, since the H1 is fine, we'll just keep that as it is. We'll copy the H2, H3s. H2, H3 is here. Keywords to use and their expected usage rate. And then we'll go back to Neuron here, and you click on article and go terms with suggested uses here, back to GPT, paste, extended, terms with suggested uses. And you can see here, this is giving impact strength 1 to 2 times and so on. And then we'll do the extended uses. Now, this is one way to do this. So we'll get the outline. And if you wanted to write the content yourself, whether you either don't like using AI content or want the content to be professionally written and not used with AI, that's totally fine. This way works extremely well also, and gives you an idea of what and how this should be set up. Now, just as a quick example, instead of having this produce the entire article, you would do the same process and you would build this content out. So in this section here, you would have somebody write CNC machining surface finish, and then you would just follow these bullets, basically this entire writing outline. Somebody could write all of this content. But for sake of doing it quickly here, what I'm going to do is just copy this outline and we'll add this into Neuron to see how well the outline is optimized. We're going to miss significantly on the word length, very likely, but we should capture a ton of these different keywords, and then the word length would be used as you're writing the content. So we're at 44. And let's see where this gets us. So just the outline without any additional content here gets us to 66. And again, we're missing the word length significantly here. So again, you would either run this same process to build a full article that is 2,000 words long, or have somebody write this content, and then you would be extremely well optimized comparatively. And the one last thing to mention about this is if you're doing this content or this style of content on your site and you are worried about inundating or having way too much content, you can use drop-down type elements like this, or put content at the bottom of the page in a section that is still readable and indexable by search engines, but it doesn't have to be the primary section, and you can still have call to actions at the top for getting quotes and things like that. So definitely a huge opportunity from a content perspective for this. Now, the next thing I would do then is look to see if there are any other reasons why this page went from 13 to non-existent in search. And to do that, what we can do is look at this page specifically in Ahrefs to see what's going on with linking, anchor text, things like that. And I'll do a longer video talking more about backlinking strategies and things like that. But to give you a quick idea, first thing to do is just see, how does this page look comparatively? And it looks like it's lost a significant amount of traffic and keywords. There are 6 referring domains, so 6 other websites on the internet are linking to this domain. And it looks like this DR column here is what I'm looking at right now. Looks like no value here, very little, some here. And then Meteory, I'm not sure if this is a real site or not. Let's just check it. No, probably not. Okay, so that is probably not a very valuable link then either. Now, the other thing to look at then is anchors, anchor text, to see if this page has been, or what's going on with this page. And it looks like, actually, I'm guessing that either Baker has multiple language pages or something else is going on here, but I see a bunch of foreign language anchor text here, which, if this is legit, then it's probably fine. But if it is something that was spammed, then probably not. But I don't know if this was a recent acquisition or something like that. I haven't looked at all about the company structure, any of that type of stuff. I'm looking purely from an SEO perspective. So let's just do a quick look here and see if there is anything about press. See subsidiaries and affiliates here. Investor relations. There actually might be something in here about acquisition. No, got an error here, so that should be cleaned up as well. And it's the IR. Looks like it's redirecting to the IR subdomain. Okay, well, I'm not going to spend a bunch of time doing company research on this. I was looking at it more from an SEO perspective. But in general, in conclusion, the site is structured well from an SEO perspective and does have information here with these different industries and sectors served. That is awesome. Recommend that all the time. And from a content perspective, there are some gaps here. And from a linking perspective, there are absolutely gaps here as well. And one last thing, actually, as I'm on this, is looking at this page, or this key phrase, I mean, to see who's ranking for it and see if what the gap would actually be for this. So if we go to click on SERP here to look at who's ranking for the key phrase for CNC machining services. And we can see there are a lot of strong sites ranking. So we have 72, 72, 72, 95, which is Reddit, 49, 74, 53, 19. So they're stronger than this one, 72, 52. And I'm seeing here actually that this page potentially is ranking 13, and something else is going on here. Oh, they do have, okay, one other potentially major issue here is, okay, this is a big issue. So this, what we're looking at now is they have a CNC machining services page, and they also have CNC machining services specifically for aerospace and space. And what this does then is causes keyword cannibalization. And you can see here, it looks like this text and this text. Actually, it's not the same. Baker Industries is home over the past 30 years. We machine a variety. Over the past 30 years. Okay, so it is different text, but the key phrase and the H1, again, H1 is the primary keyword or phrase the page is optimized for. CNC machining services, this is the H1. And this page here, inspect, do the same thing here. This is the H1. So essentially what is happening right now, Google is being told that there are multiple pages on this page or on this site that should rank for CNC machining services. So what's happening very likely is Google or search or AI, whatever, is being confused about which page is the best page to rank for this keyword or phrase. So oftentimes what happens there is you'll either see significant bouncing in rankings or you won't rank at all. So huge opportunity here. And the way to structure this correctly, if you have a service that works in multiple industries, is have the page optimized for the industry itself. So you'd have aerospace, defense, and space industry solutions. And then on that page, you can have content about the services you offer for that industry. But I would not recommend having multiple H1s for sure, especially if it's that specific. And I would not recommend setting it up in this way, because the other thing to think about here is called a site operator search in Google. So I went into Google, typed in site : and the full domain name. And this shows all pages indexed on bakerindustries.inc.com. And then what we can do is look for CNC machining services. And I'm guessing there's going to be more than just the aerospace one as well. So we have an ad at the top, and then we have, this is the general page here. This is for automotive transportation. This is for titanium, and so on. So every single one of these pages is pseudo optimized for CNC machining services. So huge keyword cannibalization and or over optimization potential here for this. And this is probably going on with every single one of the capabilities and potentially industries as well. So I would highly recommend having this cleaned up. And this process then would work the same from a content perspective for the primary service page. But for the industry pages and the industries or the services that work within those industries, I would recommend optimizing those differently than targeting CNC machining services or whatever the service is for every single one of those pages. Hopefully you got some value from this video. If you did, subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. And I plan to continue posting more videos like this, talking about what's going on and what can be done from an optimization perspective with manufacturing, B2B, industrial style businesses to help them rank better, get more traffic from search and AI, and help you generate targeted, high quality, high value leads with your search efforts. And that's it. I'll see you in the next one.